Why they refuse to open the Bashiri Mummy, unraveling the mystery. The world of archaeology and ancient history is rife with enigmas, and few artifacts capture the imagination quite like mummies. Among the many mummies discovered over the years, one stands out as particularly intriguing: the Bashiri Mummy. Despite its potential to unlock secrets of the past, the Bashiri Mummy remains sealed, untouched by modern science. But why? What forces are at play that prevent researchers from opening this mysterious artifact? In this article, we delve deep into the reasons behind this refusal, exploring the ethical, cultural, historical, and scientific dimensions of the debate. The discovery of the Bashiri Mummy. The Bashiri Mummy was discovered in the late 1980s during an archaeological expedition in the remote regions of Central Asia, near the Pamir Mountains. The exact location of the find has been kept confidential to protect the site from looters and unauthorized excavations. Carbon dating places the mummy's origin around 2,500 years ago, during the height of the Persian Empire. The individual, believed to be a high-ranking member of society, was found in a remarkably well-preserved state, encased in an intricately decorated sarcophagus, adorned with symbols and inscriptions that have yet to be fully deciphered. What makes the Bashiri Mummy unique is not just its age or condition, but also the circumstances surrounding its burial. Unlike other mummies, which were often prepared for preservation through elaborate rituals, the Bashiri Mummy appears to have undergone a natural mummification process due to the region's arid climate and mineral-rich soil. This natural preservation has left the body in an almost lifelike state, raising questions about the individual's identity, status, and the cultural practices of their time. The ethical dilemma. Respecting the dead. One of the primary reasons researchers hesitate to open the Bashiri Mummy lies in the ethical considerations surrounding the treatment of human remains. Archaeologists and historians are increasingly aware of the need to respect the cultural and spiritual beliefs of ancient peoples. For many cultures, disturbing the dead is considered taboo, as it disrupts their journey to the afterlife or violates sacred traditions. In the case of the Bashiri Mummy, there is speculation that the individual may have belonged to a group with strong funerary customs. The inscriptions on the sarcophagus suggest references to an afterlife and protective deities, indicating that the mummy was buried with great care and reverence. Opening the sarcophagus could be seen as a desecration of these beliefs, potentially offending descendants or violating the sanctity of the burial. Furthermore, modern ethical guidelines in archaeology emphasize collaboration with local communities and stakeholders. In many cases, indigenous groups have demanded that ancient remains be left undisturbed or repatriated to their ancestral lands. While the specific descendants of the Bashiri Mummy are unknown, the ethical principle of do no harm weighs heavily in favor of leaving the artifact untouched unless absolutely necessary. Cultural sensitivity and ownership disputes. Another layer of complexity stems from issues of cultural ownership and sensitivity. The discovery of ancient artifacts often sparks disputes between nations, institutions, and communities over who has the right to study, display, or preserve them. The Bashiri Mummy is no exception. Central Asia, where the mummy was found, has a rich tapestry of overlapping histories and cultures. The region has been home to various empires and civilizations, including the Achaemenid Persians, Scythians, and later Islamic dynasties. Determining which culture the mummy belongs to, and therefore who has jurisdiction over it, is a contentious issue. Some argue that the mummy should remain in situ, safeguarded by the country of discovery, while others believe it should be shared with international museums for broader educational purposes. Opening the mummy would likely exacerbate these tensions. Any decision to conduct invasive research must take into account the views of all parties involved, ensuring that the process is transparent and respectful. Until consensus can be reached, the safest course of action is to leave the mummy undisturbed. Scientific concerns. Preserving the integrity of the artifact. From a purely scientific perspective, there are valid concerns about the risks associated with opening the Bashiri mummy. Once exposed to air, light, and changes in temperature and humidity, the delicate tissues and organic materials within the sarcophagus could deteriorate rapidly. Even minor disturbances could compromise the integrity of the artifact, rendering it useless for future study. Modern non-invasive techniques, such as CT scans, X-rays, and DNA analysis, allow researchers to gather significant information without physically opening the sarcophagus. These methods provide detailed images of the mummy's internal structure, reveal clues about its health and diet, and even identify familial connections. By relying on such technologies, scientists can maximize the knowledge gained while minimizing the risk of damage. Additionally, there is always the possibility that opening the sarcophagus could expose researchers to hazardous substances. Ancient tombs sometimes contain toxic compounds used in embalming processes or naturally occurring minerals that pose health risks. Ensuring the safety of both the artifact and the people handling it is paramount. The curse. Narrative. Myth versus reality. No discussion of mummies would be complete without addressing the enduring myth of curses. Popularized by Hollywood and sensationalist media, the idea that disturbing ancient remains invites supernatural retribution has captured public imagination for decades. While most scholars dismiss such claims as superstition, the narrative persists, influencing public perception and, in some cases, decision-making. In the case of the Bashiri mummy, rumors of a curse have circulated since its discovery. Local legends speak of a powerful figure laid to rest with warnings against tampering with their final resting place. While these stories lack empirical evidence, they contribute to the aura of mystery surrounding the mummy and add another layer of hesitation for researchers considering its examination. Whether or not one believes in curses, the psychological impact of such narratives cannot be ignored. They serve as a reminder of the profound respect and caution required when dealing with relics of the past. The potential rewards. What could we learn? Despite the challenges, the potential rewards of studying the Bashiri mummy are immense. If opened and analyzed, the mummy could provide unprecedented insights into the life and times of its owner. For instance, health and diet, analyzing the mummy's teeth, bones, and internal organs could reveal details about nutrition, disease, and medical practices in ancient Central Asia. Genetic lineage. DNA testing could shed light on the genetic makeup of the individual, helping trace migration patterns and connections between ancient populations. Funerary practices. Examining the contents of the sarcophagus and any accompanying artifacts could deepen our understanding of burial rituals and religious beliefs. Historical context. Deciphering the inscriptions on the sarcophagus might uncover new information about the political, social, and economic conditions of the era. These findings could fill gaps in our knowledge of Central Asian history, bridging the divide between written records and archaeological evidence. However, the question remains, is the potential gain worth the risks and controversies? Conclusion. Balancing curiosity with responsibility. The refusal to open the Bashiri mummy reflects a broader tension in the field of archaeology, the balance between curiosity and responsibility. On one hand, the desire to learn more about our ancestors drives us to push boundaries and explore the unknown. On the other hand, we must weigh the consequences of our actions, respecting the cultural, ethical, and scientific implications of our choices. For now, the Bashiri Mummy remains a silent guardian of secrets, its sarcophagus unopened and its mysteries intact. Whether future generations will choose to unlock its secrets or continue to preserve it as a symbol of respect for the past remains to be seen. What is certain is that the story of the Bashiri Mummy serves as a poignant reminder of the complexities inherent in our quest to understand humanity's shared heritage. By approaching such discoveries with humility, empathy, and rigorous scholarship, we honor not only the individuals whose remains we study, but also the rich tapestry of human history itself.